Nobody knows what will happen with him later on in the season. If I was a betting man, I say he's not coming back.
I think he will. I think Dunnigan will come back before the end of the season.
What's your allowance each week?
Well, let's see. The paper.
I'd be willing to try and take it.
A couple of houses dropped the papers on my paper route, so I'm down a little bit this week. And it's the Dr. Dunnigan earlier this week. And he's not ruling it out.
Edmonton,
I think the doctors are clearly going to make an indication to him and a recommendation. But I still have a feeling that if Dunnigan feels that he's close, he'll play.
You know, Gord, I saw Matt do an interview a few weeks ago. In fact, I think it was on TSN, and I'm certainly not a neurologist or an expert. I really felt like his speech was slower and everything was just a little slower for Matt. Now, I know when he's doing interviews sometimes he's really low-key, and that sometimes is his nature, but to me, he didn't seem right. And that's a purely unprofessional analysis because I don't know. I felt that.
Well, I'll tell you what, Larry Ruck gets in there quickly on Tyrone Rush. By the way, after the penalty, the net on that punt was 12 yards. So Edmonton had a net of 1 earlier and 12 here. But that time, Larry Ruck sticks Tyrone Rush. And how close is this game to the game that Edmonton played last week against Calgary? The Stampeders had them down. The defense had to hold them in drive after drive and hope the offense could pull it out. Second down, Kerrigan, long, wide field out, gets it there to Jason Phillips, who beats the first man. And Phillips gets down to the Edmonton 19-yard line. Jason Phillips ran right around Derek Beatty. The gain is 25 yards.
Well, it's not so much the catch. Yes, it was nice, but it's the great move after the catch. And right here, just freeze it. Now watch some fancy footwork by these little feet right there. It absolutely freezes Beatty. He goes one way and Phillips is off and running the other. That's a heck of a move in the open field.
Now first down for the Ticats from the 20. Kerrigan is under pressure and he is sacked immediately.
You know what, Gord, I'll have to check with David Moyer, our statistician. I think that's the first sack of the afternoon for Edmonton, and it is. And they came into this game leading with 50 against a team that given up 47. You don't think the Hamilton offensive line's done a nice job today? They sure have.
Willie Pless with his 5th sack of the year. It's a loss of 4 for the Ticats.
Yeah, and to Kerrigan's credit, though, I mean, no chances of throwing it up. I mean, you have to take the sack in this situation and not take a gamble with an interception.
2nd and 15 from the 25. Underneath they go for Tyrone Rush. Gets away from Singor Mobley. Rush still going, spins his way down to the 16-yard line, well short of a first down, but makes the field goal try coming from Paul Osbaldiston much easier.
Tyrone Rush has really made an impact in this game, and the yardage won't reflect it. If someone looked at the box score tomorrow, they'd say, ho hum, you know, just a so-so day. But it seems like every run he has made, or catch and run he has made, he's broken 3 or 4 tackles, bounced off people, and I'll tell you what, he has been a fan favorite here this afternoon at Ivor Wynd.
This for a 13-point lead. Osbaldiston puts it through, and with 10:31 to play in the 4th quarter, Hamilton has a 20-7 lead on the Edmonton Eskimos. Tyrone Rush is carrying the mail. The Ticats with the lead, and we'll be back with more on the CFL Live from Hamilton in just a moment.
The reviews are in. Leading industry publications agree that Corel WordPerfect Suite 7, the world's best word processor, is now an unbeatable Office suite.
Corel Suites include better internet features than Office or Smart Suite. Feature for feature, the new Corel Suite outperforms the competitors. Now it's Microsoft's turn to play catch-up.
Shouldn't you use the best?
Corel WordPerfect Suite 7. It's unbeatable.
Now here's the ultimate torture test for any coffee. Mike at 6 a.m. With the hours he works, it's a challenge. Will Folgers instant crystals be rich enough for that first cup of the day? Mike opens the jar and discovers ground roast aroma and coffee from mountain-grown beans with rich, satisfying flavor. The moment of truth.
I can't believe you're smiling this early.
It must be this coffee.
Folgers instant crystals, rich enough to be your first cup.
This is Edmonton's defense, but Leaf, we got to get the eraser out here.
Well, you know, Gord, they came in allowing only 248 a game. I mean, that's a heck of a commendable record, but I want to show you something in a little scribble here. Hamilton's got 288
already.
So they have been ahead of what Edmonton usually gives up.
And they've allowed only one quarterback sack. 1st and 10 for the Eskimos from their 35. Ledbetter looking for Darren Flutie. You've talked about this before with young quarterbacks about tunnel vision, locking in on one guy, and it looks like Ledbetter's locking in on Darren Flutie.
Yeah, this is to me a real lack of awareness for Cody Ledbetter today. He just got off to a horrible start, and no one knows it better than Ron Lancaster. He played quarterback for so many seasons that he knows what they're going through, but he has just never been able to recover from a bad start today, and in fact I think it's even gotten worse.
From the shotgun, Ledbetter guns it and finds Flutie. And now Darren Flutie going to work in the Hamilton defensive backfield, gets all the way down to their 48-yard line. And once in a while, locking in on a guy I guess isn't such a bad thing. The pickup is 32 yards and a big Edmonton first down.
And probably the best throw that Ledbetter has made all day today.
Unnecessary roughness. Hamilton 42.
And Rob Hitchcock is called for unnecessary roughness. Tack that onto the end of the play, and it winds up being a gain of 47.
Darren Flutie reads the coverage. He knows it's zone, so he just settles down in the open area, makes the good catch. And I don't know if we can see what Hitchcock did at the end of the play. He's 42 coming in on the pile. Sure, he speared him while he was down. That's a good call.
First down from the 29. Ledbetter to the end zone for Eddie Brown. Oh, and Brown got his hands on it but couldn't make the catch. He was working on Derek Greer.
Eddie Brown did a terrific job to adjust his body to be able to cut back over the top of Greer and have a chance at it. He made a heck of a physical move. He just couldn't make the catch. See how he works underneath. Now he tries to go back up over the top. He really had a good chance to make that catch.
And Ledbetter thought it was there.
Well, he couldn't have put it in a better spot.
2nd down and 10 for the Eskimos from the Hamilton 29. Ledbetter has time and overthrows his intended target. He was looking for Mark Tobert over the middle. Now, is Lancaster going to gamble? I think he is on 3rd down.
Well, I think at this stage a field goal probably doesn't mean a whole lot, and even if you don't make it, you have Hamilton backed up, and I think that's the thinking of Ron Lancaster.
Ledbetter is 4 for 15 for 62 yards today.
And I'll tell you what Lancaster's upset about is the inside receivers for Edmonton, Flutie and Eddie Brown, are just getting mauled downfield and held, and I'm sure that's what Ron Lancaster was telling the officials about.
Gambling on 3rd down. Ledbetter over the middle and complete. He gets it down there to Mark Tobert. Looked like the same play they just tried, and this should be good for an Edmonton first down.
It was exactly the same play that they just tried. You called it exactly right, Gord, and that time Tobert got good position and made the catch.
First down, Eskimos to the 16-yard line. Ledbetter has time, looking for the end zone. Flutie. And it is almost intercepted again by Don Robinson. 2nd time he's had a potential interception roll through his fingertips.
That's pretty tough coverage to try and thread a football into. Darren Flutie had Gary Lewis and Don Robinson all over him at that point, and Don Robinson actually should have had that one. I could never figure out why defensive backs don't catch too well. I know Les Brown caught pretty well. He had to have all the interceptions he had, but Don Robinson.
If you had that kind of speed and you could catch, you'd be a wide receiver.
So that's it. If you can't catch, you're a defensive back. I get your philosophy now.
Flags all over the place. Ledbetter looking to the end zone, but this play has been whistled dead. Robinson got it. That will not be the 6th interception of the season. That it will be offside against the Ticats.
See, Ledbetter knew that the play was being whistled dead, so he wanted to see if Robinson could catch.
2nd down.
Gonzalo Floyd jumped offside. Now the Eskimos are down to the 12-yard line. 2nd and 5 gives you a few more options.
Well, I think, time is not a factor at this point. It's just under 8 minutes to go. They're down by 14, so really, time, you don't have to score quickly.
Ledbetter. Draw play to Eric Blunt, and he does not get there. Gonzalo Floyd comes up to make the stop, and he stops Blunt down at about the 11-yard line. Edmonton will gamble again on 3rd down.
Well, it stands to reason if you gambled on 3rd and 10, you'd gamble on 3rd and 5.
3rd down, 5 yards to go. From the 12, Ledbetter flushed out of the pocket. He's in trouble. And he is dropped. 4 Ticats got to the Edmonton quarterback, including Gonzalo Floyd. It's the 4th sack of the game for the Ticats.
Well, you know what Edmonton did, Gord? They went to a 3-step drop on 3rd and 5, and when you don't get rid of the football quickly, you're in trouble. There's Mike Campbell. He gets the initial pressure up the gut, but you see it's 1, 2, 3. He wants to throw. Now Campbell's up. Philbrick's up. They're coming. And the play is absolutely dead in the water. 3 of them share that sack, and what a huge play, and not surprising. Hamilton's defense has played well all afternoon.
Edmonton has turned the ball over 3 times on downs in this football game. The Ticats get it back with 6:53 to play. Kerrigan up and throwing quickly for Bert Thornton, and he's ridden out of bounds by Glenn Rogers. A lot of elements of the run and shoot in this Hamilton offense. I don't think they call it that here, but it's got a lot of that look to it. The quick drop, the receiver screens.
Well, they call it the MAPO offense, multiple adjustment pass offense. That's John Jenkins' terminology, but I think that's just another way for saying run and shoot. There's Jim Gilstrap, who's here coaching the offensive line with the resignation of John Salavantis.
Swing pass out of the backfield. That falls incomplete. Looking for Ted Long. It'll bring up 2nd down.
You know, let's go back to that 3rd down gamble, and they go to the 3-step drop. But, you know, what you want to do in 3-step is get rid of it quickly. And, you know, Ledbetter's looking right at Flutie. I mean, you know, he could have maybe got it into him there, but for some reason he chose to hold it, hold it, and hold it. And when you hold it on a 3-step drop, you're asking for a lot of trouble, and it resulted ultimately in Hamilton sacking the quarterback.
The old football saying, when you throw the ball, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. Now on 2nd down, Kerrigan's going to throw it over the middle for Matt Cody. Gets it on the 2nd try. And Matt Cody into Edmonton territory at the 50-yard line. Malcolm Frank makes the catch. Give credit to Matt Cody for the catch and the rebound, I guess.
It's another good throw by Mike Kerrigan. But look again, the time to throw. I mean, I don't think you can say enough about the job this offensive line has done. I mean, that's a heck of a catch by Cody and run and all that stuff, and good throw. But the offensive line has only allowed 1 sack that had been the real Achilles heel of this offense, and that offensive line has played superbly today.
Gain of 28 for Cody. Now Kerrigan to the other side to Earl Winfield. That pass falls incomplete, and we've got a flag down on that side of the field at the 43-yard line. And offside is the call against Hamilton. 5:34 to play in the 4th quarter. The Ticats lead this game by 13.
You know, Gord, the difference too tonight in the last 6 games, we'll hear the call.
Hamilton number 1. Penalties declined. 2nd down.
And Earl was offside.
Last 6 games, Hamilton wasn't making any plays. Nobody was coming and making a key catch or a key run. But, you know, tonight they've made a lot of key plays. I mean, Matt Cody's had a heck of a game. So has Jason Phillips, Tyrone Rush. You have a lot of people on one offense that are contributing, unlike what was happening a few weeks ago.
2nd down from the 50. Kerrigan swings it out for Phillips. It's intercepted. Picked off by Cavis Reed. He's got 2 interception returns for a touchdown, and only Mike Kerrigan stopped Glenn Rogers from going up the field for a touchdown there. Don Southern can't believe it. 5:05 to play in the 4th quarter. Kerrigan throws the wide side out, and Glenn Rogers comes up with the interception.
Lasagna, sausage, and a spicy meatball.
I could be up all night with heartburn.
Not with this.
Pepsid AC acid controller.
This one little pill can stop heartburn before it starts. Just take this one now. It'll prevent heartburn and control acid for up to 9 hours.
Bless you.
New Pepsid AC, the first non-prescription medicine that can relieve and prevent heartburn caused by a meal. You can be heartburn-free with new Pepsid AC.
I think it needs a little more spice.
There's a movement underway. Behind it, the Vidal Sassoon Academy, the world-famous center for hair care, where experts have discovered the way to top condition, strand by strand. That's why Vidal Sassoon shampoos and conditioners were created, to help soothe and protect your hair, for professional results like this every day. Vidal Sassoon, professional care for your hair.
Glenn Rogers Jr. has his 6th interception of the year. He ties teammate Kavis Reed for the league lead, and he returned that one 27 yards to give the Edmonton Eskimos a first down at the 33-yard line. 5:03 to play in the 4th quarter.
And it's Warren Jones in at quarterback.
Jones back in for Edmonton, under pressure, and looking for Eric Blunt. The pass falls incomplete.
Well, one thing we know about tonight's game is Ron Lancaster has absolutely no reluctance in changing quarterbacks and at any time.
The irony is that as a quarterback himself, Lancaster would refuse to come out of games.
And that's true. And I think there's a lot of difference between Ron Lancaster, Warren Jones, and Cody Ledbetter.
When you've thrown for 50,000 yards, you can do whatever you want.
That's right. I can't believe you said that.
2nd down. And that pass is almost picked off. Gerhardt knocks it down. And Ledbetter back in the game. So maybe they'll alternate plays. And now, was it Jones coming back in for 3rd down? I've never seen this. Jones plays 1st down. Ledbetter plays 2nd. I've never seen a team shuttle in plays with the quarterbacks.
I've seen it all myself now. I mean, I can see if you're running the wishbone option and you keep losing them.
4:22 to go. It's Jones. It's an odd number down, so it must be Jones. 3rd down gamble. Jones has time. Not anymore. He is hammered down. Fumbles. The ball picked up by Mike Campbell with 4:07 left to go. Warren Jones just ran out of time. Wouldn't have mattered who was in there on that play.
But Warren Jones had plenty of time to throw this football. This was just a combination of great coverage downfield, nobody open, and a tenacious, won't give up kind of pass rush. Gonzalo Floyd with the hit. Here it comes. Jones doesn't see it. The ball comes loose. Hamilton's got it. They would have had it anyway. It was a 3rd down gamble. But this has been truly an inspired effort, both offensively and defensively, by the Hamilton Tiger. When have you seen an Edmonton team turn it over 7 times in a game?
Kerrigan on 1st down, quickly out to the sideline for Earl Winfield, and Winfield steps out of bounds up at the 50-yard line. Hamilton came into the game with the worst giveaway takeaway ratio in the league at -16.
And Edmonton was at -6. They are usually not in the minus category as a team. I think it's due to the fact that Danny McManus struggled early in the year through a lot of interceptions, and of course, you know, add 7 to that total. They've 3. The differential's 4. They're now -10 on the year.
2nd down, 3 yards to go, and not much doing there as the give goes to Tyrone Rush, and once again his helmet comes off as he's brought down by Benny Goods and Leroy Blue. 3:23 to go in the 4th quarter. Hamilton with a 13-point lead. I'm still reeling that the Edmonton Eskimos would change quarterbacks on individual plays.
It does seem kind of strange.
Who's it going to be now? Paulus Baldiston will punt. Henry Williams and Eddie Brown are back to return. And Gizmo has done some damage today in his first game back.
I wouldn't kick it to him if I was Paulus Baldiston, although the other choice with Eddie Brown isn't much better.
How about out of bounds?
Out of bounds, I think, is the prudent play. And that's where he's going.
Didn't get it done, though.
Nope, he hooked it back in.
Here comes the Gizmo. Bursting through the first wave.
Good.
He is gone. One man to beat. It's the kicker, Baldiston. Henry Williams. Touchdown. A flag comes down right as he crosses the goal line. A flag comes down. It looked like Don Blair blocked one of the Ticats from behind. And there's a flag at the 20-yard line.
I'm not so sure it was from behind. It was low. It was below the knees, and you can't do that. I'm sure he got his head in front.
Illegal block. Edmonton, number 20.
It is Blair. You're right. It's an illegal block. We've hit the 3-minute warning. Williams has a punt return for a touchdown called back. There's Blair right behind him. Clear as day. We've hit the 3-minute warning. The Edmonton Eskimos have good field position, but they don't have the touchdown.
The reviews are in. Leading industry publications agree that Corel WordPerfect Suite 7, the world's best word processor, is now an unbeatable office suite.
Corel Suites include better internet features than Office or Smart Suite. Feature for feature, the new Corel Suite outperforms the competitors. Now it's Microsoft's turn to play catch-up.
Shouldn't you use the best?
Corel WordPerfect Suite 7. It's unbeatable.
Slick 50 engine treatment with Teflon. Can it reduce wear in your engine? Yes. Here's proof. In the Great Slick 50 torture test, a professional driver drove this Slick 50 treated car nearly 20 kilometers with no oil. And here's more proof. Slick 50 is the only engine protection with test results published by the Society of Automotive Engineers, the recognized automotive authority. Reduce wear in your engine with Slick 50 engine treatment with Teflon.
Get Slick 50 at Canadian Tire, Kmart, Sears Automotive, Home Hardware.
Henry Williams would have had an 88-yard punt return for a touchdown, but Williams, who has taken 23 back in his career and has had almost as many called back, has this one brought back.
Yeah, and you and I were saying at commercial, we don't really think Andrew Grigg might have caught him anyway, but
there's Blair right
here's
there.
Don Blair right here, and you know, watch his head. His head gets below the legs of Andrew Grigg. It's not that he clipped him, it's that he went down below the waist. And you can't block below the waist, and he gets crossed.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a big one.
First down, Edmonton from the 28-yard line. It's Cody Ledbetter. Looking for Eddie Brown. It falls incomplete. 2:34 to play. And Ledbetter will stay in for now.
Yeah, Derek Greer, I really feel he's the best one-on-one cover defensive back that Hamilton has. And, you know, against Eddie Brown, he just gets the right arm in underneath and had good position underneath to make that play.
Second down from the 28. Ledbetter has time, looks to the end zone. Oh, man, Darren Flutie makes the catch at the 5, and he got rocked. I'll tell you what, Darren Flutie and Cody Ledbetter are lethal late in the fourth quarter.
Well, it's a heck of a hit by Rob Hitchcock, but it's an even better catch by Darren Flutie. You see how he cradled that football? He knew the hit was coming, but he was willing to pay the price.
23-yard pickup. Back to the end zone they go. Gary Lewis knocks it away. Flutie appeals for pass interference, but won't get it.
When you're a defensive back and you're in a chase situation, as Gary Lewis was, here's Gary Lewis. Watch what he's going to do. As soon as Flutie looks, he turns and looks. He didn't turn, but when he saw it, he did the smart thing. He got his helmet in the way.
That's right. Just the way he planned to do it.
When in doubt, use your helmet.
That's right. Second and goal from the 5. Ledbetter. They wanted that 3-step drop again. Not there. Now he throws it to the end zone. Burst touchdown. Boy, it looked like nothing was there for Cody Ledbetter, but he got it away to Tony Burse, who has his second touchdown catch of the year. And Cody Ledbetter has his second touchdown throw in his career. Both have come with less than 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
And Ledbetter bought himself a lot of extra time when the three-step drop and nothing was there. He rolled out, and Tony Burse actually ran an out and up on Justin Ring and makes a nice catch at the end of this play. But
wow,
Cody Ledbetter able to slide out of the pocket and have an extra few precious seconds and allow Burse to get open.
Now Fleming for the point after to pull Edmonton within 6. Well, now 2:14 to play in the fourth quarter. And if Cody Ledbetter leads the Eskimos to another late fourth quarter comeback, he'll be some kind of folk hero at Edmonton. I mean, how badly can you play for 3 quarters and still win the game?
Well, I guess when you're only 13 behind, I mean, you know, you always got a chance to win. And regardless of how poorly he has played today, they made a big play there to get the touchdown. And now if his defense plays up to their billing as the #1 defense in the league, he should probably get another opportunity.
Think back to last week against the Calgary Stampeders. He was 4 for 5 on the last drive against the Stamps. Before that, he'd been 3 for 15.
You know, Gord, it's funny how players react and how they perform. Sometimes guys play better when there's an enormous sense of urgency. And, you know, I have to think that maybe Ledbetter's one of those kind of guys that when the pressure's on and there's no time remaining to do it later, he's a guy that can do it now.
Told the story last week, but Ledbetter's first pass in college was intercepted and returned for a touchdown. It was the CNN play of the day.
Well, Hamilton anticipated an onside kick. They had 10 men up.
But the kick does bounce short to Andrew Grigg, who will just slide down at the 35-yard line. Crowd calling for a late hit. Grigg simply slid down, and Singor Mobley jumped all over him. So the Ticats have it with 2:08 to play in the fourth quarter. A couple of first downs should be able to put the game out of reach. But Edmonton took the ball 4 plays, 28 yards in just 32 seconds. But think about it. All of that came after a punt return for a touchdown was called back for a penalty.
Yeah, but regardless of that, it was still the punt return that set up that touchdown. And Henry Williams has really, this afternoon or this evening, consistently given his team an opportunity to score with his tremendous returns.
Now when Shalon Baker's ready to come back, Williams will have a case to be there in the lineup somewhere. Baker was second in the league in punt returns coming into this week. And not much doing there for Tyrone Rush. As you might expect, the Edmonton defense is led by Larry Ruck and Willie Pless, who combined to make the stop. 2:04 to play.
And it's going to be probably one of the longest 2 minutes of Don Southern's season. And he has a chance to win this game and snap a horrendous losing streak. But this clock is going to go as slow as he's ever seen it go.
Now Dave Ewell watches Tyrone off, and he'll head over to the sidelines to talk to the timekeeper. Did they start it too soon? Started too late?
The main clock reset to the time it was to start. I think it was 2:08.
Yeah, 2:08 is right.
It did not start.
Ah, that's the problem. They didn't start the 20-second clock. Now we have 20:80 left. Now 2:08.
Edmonton will be happy with that.
Say that. Ron Lancaster has been accused of getting breaks from the timekeepers in his career, but 20:80 would be the all-timer.
But we're not in Saskatchewan when he was playing.
Now you played with him in Saskatchewan. He was unbelievable in the 2-minute drill.
Oh, he was awesome. You know, he used to. I never played with a quarterback that could accomplish and get off more plays in a shorter period of time than Ron Lancaster could. And I haven't seen anybody yet that can come close to him in that.